Hey everyone. So this will not be a motivational video or a comment on new and exciting developments, although this is a new development. Rather, this is an announcement about my health and the direction of the channel for the next few months. I'm going to quickly go through the health portion and the direction so the information is out there and you can stay for more of the history if you'd like. I have cancer. Again. This time in a lymph node in my neck, just under my jaw on my left-hand side. So, right under there. I'll be having surgery to remove this tumor and some surrounding tissue on February 9th. I'm planning on posting this either the 7th or 8th, so my surgery will be a day or two after I post this video. So, I will be out of commission for bowling for the next couple weeks. I do have a bit of content I've already recorded, so that will continue to come out. I also have some other ideas, like a tutorial on how to throw two-finger style like myself, and some drills to work on to improve if that is your style or you're curious about it. I can do these about 2 weeks after surgery, and I plan to do so. However, about 4 to 6 weeks after surgery, I will be doing, at minimum, radiation therapy and most likely chemotherapy as well. When this happens, my ability to film will go away for a while, especially if I'm forced to do chemo. Also, my plans to do a professional tournament or two this year are gone, since it will probably take 4 to 5 months to get me back in shape and even more time to get my body and mind in the proper position as well. I'm posting a link to a GoFundMe page in the description if any of you would like to help me out. I still have some medical bills from last year with my testicular cancer, and now I'll have another burden with this diagnosis. In addition, this will hinder my ability to run my business as I go through treatment. So that's the short of it. That's what's coming my way and where this channel will be for the next 6 to 9 months. I appreciate everyone for staying for at least this long. I'm going to go through a bit of my history and my whole business woes here in a minute, and saying this is more for me than anything. If you're curious, stick around. Part 2 coming here in a sec. Okay, so part 2. So some history. This is now my 3rd different cancer diagnosis. Most of you should be aware of my testicular cancer diagnosis in August of last year, 2023, and now this cancer in my lymph node. But in April of 2019, I was diagnosed with my first cancer that was sitting on my olfactory nerves, the nerves that allow us to smell. I had a surgery in Salt Lake City in May of 2019 to take the olfactory nerves and the olfactory bulb, which is located in the brain. So they took a portion of my skull to access that bulb. The portion of the skull is called the cribriform plate. Then after taking that, they took a portion of my septum in my nose and cut that out and filled in the gap that was left in my skull. All the surgery was done within the cavity of my nose, so I don't have any external scarring or anything. So I am biologically incapable of smelling. I have nothing left that would allow me to smell. I haven't actually smelled anything since May of 2019. That cancer, the official name is sinonasal neuroendocrine carcinoma, is very rare, like 1 in 20 million rare. I think there's 1 or 2 diagnoses per year in the United States, so it's rare. Because of the rarity, they don't have a blueprint for treatment like there is with more common, types of cancer, breast cancer, lung cancer, testicular cancer for that matter. And because there is no blueprint for that cancer that I had, they just threw everything at it. So I had a very strong chemotherapy drug and radiation, so it was very hard. I wish that chemotherapy was never pushed upon anyone. It's horrible. I was 38 when I went through treatment, and it took me a solid year, maybe more, to fully get back to where I was prior to treatment. Now, there were some mental issues I was dealing with at the same time, like finally truly facing my mortality and the future for my family in my absence. Fortunately, the treatment seems to have worked until now. The tumor in my neck seems to be the same type as was in my nose. From the initial biopsy they did about a month ago, it's the same kind of cancer. So it traveled or metastasized from my nose. Luckily, it seems to be localized, or just in that one lymph node. It hasn't traveled anywhere else that we can tell. So the prospect of going through chemo again is daunting, and I'm very fearful of what it's going to do to me again. Beyond that portion, I also have a lawn mowing business. It's just myself, but I do pretty well, and I get winters off. I do snow removal, but only on the days where it snows. So we're talking 2-3 days out of the month where I actually work. So it's pretty nice. Gives me enough time to practice bowling. So having to go through chemo will make it impossible to do the physical labor of mowing lawns. Now, because of the treatment, I'm going to be forced to hire someone and cheer them on as I go through treatment and the subsequent inability to do pretty much anything because of the debilitating side effects of chemo and radiation, for that matter. I just don't know what this all will do for me and where my business goes in the future as well. It's all in limbo. With regard to bowling, bowling has become a big part of my life again. It was for about 6 years earlier when I was an older teenager and a young adult. It's big for me to be looking at the near future and not being able to do it all if this treatment doesn't work. I'm a pretty positive guy, and I think I'll make it through this like I did before, but it's a lot, and my future is so open, it's depressing for me. It's going to be a fight, but I'm up for it. Hopefully it all goes well, and I'll be back to practicing and working back up to professional condition in the next few months, but it's so hard to say right now. I suppose that's all I have for right now. Thank you all for your support and loyalty to stay to the end of this video. I'm sure I'll do a few more videos as my treatment progresses, but in the meantime, I thank you again for sticking with me. This is Tap.